Hey besties, it's Rosie. I'm going to be pulling the energies for both the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine today. And if you look at these two cards, which came out together in the pre-shuffle, can tell us a lot about what these two energies have been up to. So as you can see, the masculine is a little bit more withdrawn. He's indoors. Some of these masculines might be indulging in food. They might be overeating or eating their feelings. And the feminine seems to be surrounded by nature. She seems to be outdoors. She seems to be in a restful state and surrounded by these little woodland creatures that might represent friends or it might represent pets. On the bottom of the deck is the Devil and the Three of Swords. So I think that both of these energies are in a purging process right now. And it might be making them extremely aware of the unhealthy attachments that they have, that they lean into when they are grieving or releasing something. I'm going to start with the energy of the Divine Feminine. Let's see where my feminines are at, Spirit. I'm hearing that the energies are heavily mirrored right now. Whatever you're experiencing or what you're experiencing might be you picking up on the thoughts and feelings and telepathic connection of your counterpart. Yes. So my feminines seem to have a strong intuition that something is about to be successful. What's this about, Spirit? Page of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, King of Wands. All right, besties. Looks like my Divine Feminines are pretty optimistic that whatever this Page of Pentacles energy is, whether it be a creative endeavor or a new relationship, whatever it is that you are putting your energy into right now, you have a strong intuition that it's going to go the distance. You're going to turn this Page of Pentacles into the Queen of Pentacles. It's something that's going to bring you a lot of stability. Not even just physical stability, but I'm getting that it's going to bring you a lot of emotional stability as well. I think that you've really honed this craft of discerning what is a good use of your energy, what is going to bring you the benefit of satisfaction, and that is where you are putting your energy. In the past, you might not have known, and in fact, what's still showing up in your energy is this Ten of Swords, King of Wands energy, where I think that you are using the past as a compass, kind of like a checklist. You see all the mile markers that were red flags present in the beginning that led you to this place of defeat. And so now you know that those are goalposts going forward. When you see these same energies cropping up, you have a choice to transmute them, or if they are coming from another person, you can either shift your own awareness to transmute this to something else, or you can walk away from it if it's something that is happening repeatedly. Seven of Pentacles, yes, you are very much mastering this lesson of what is worth it to you, where to place your energy, what pentacles to hold on to. Being called to grab another deck. I think the spirit has either already sent in or is activating someone that you have known before to step into your life and help you turn the wheel, the helm of this ship into a new direction. I think you've been trying to go somewhere for a while now, and Spirit is sending in backup and support to assist you and steering yourself into that direction to make sure that you are catching the lucky gust of wind that is coming through to carry you to this new place. I'm hearing that this person or this energy that's coming in to be helpful to you might not be someone that goes the full distance with you. If you look at this card, originally everybody was in this hot air balloon type of energy, and then up here you have this little person who is broken away on an errant started raining as I said that outside, an errant dandelion puff. So the energies that are coming in for you might not be ones that are standing at the finish line with you, but they are someone who is going to carry you. They're going to be a very buoyant energy that gets you off the ground to give you this momentum to go where it is that you are trying to go. Yes. I see that you have been in this dark night of the soul. You are in a very transformative energy, and Spirit is sending you someone, a companion for the journey through the dark night. Someone who will act as a protector, someone who will let you stand under their umbrella, someone who is just like you, who recognizes that you are the same. I'm hearing birds of a feather, we real life made for each other, that Doja Cat lyric. So someone is coming in for you, besties, to assist you in this level up. Spirit, do you have any more to say about that? No. Pulling the secrets card again that we pulled the other day. So Spirit is not going to reveal who this is. For some of you, this person's already showed up. For some of you, they are still on their way. But rest assured that this person is holding the key ring, the keys to certain doors that have been locked to you until now. Spirit, what are these doors? I'm hearing that for a long time your efforts have not paid off. You've had to put in a lot of effort to get very little reward. And that has left you in this stranded energy where you are feeling very depleted energetically because you have had to put so much energy into getting anywhere. I'm seeing like an adult trying to ride one of those children's like big wheel tricycles. Since there's so much weight on it, you have to pedal so hard because the wheel just kind of keeps spinning. It's not really gaining traction because there's just so much weight. And that is what you have been carrying. And that is the mode of transportation that you have been taking to this point right now. And it's not getting you very far. There's like a lot of effort. You have to have a lot of rest period in between to make up for the fact that you have to exert yourself so much to make any movement whatsoever. And this person is coming in with a gift for you. I'm seeing this person is extremely devoted to you, whether this is someone that you know or you have known, or just someone with whom you'll have an instant soul recognition. This person really wants to help you. They are in a place to do so, and they know that you're deserving of it. Like they feel it's their duty to help you with this. Yeah, for a long time, maybe for the entirety of your journey, no one has ever really reached down and given you a hand up. Maybe you've always been on this tricycle, and this is the only way that you know how to grow is just through immense suffering. You have been the only one around you who is doing the work. So you don't have any examples to look to, and there's certainly no one at a higher level willing to reach down and give you this hand up, but like this person is up there. They seem very relaxed. They seem comfortable in where they are, and they are willing to, you know, let down their Rapunzel hair and let you climb it. All right, this person is definitely someone significant to you. They are, again, for a lot of you, this is someone that you know. This is somebody that maybe years ago, maybe from your childhood, this person was important to you. You guys had some kind of camaraderie even then, because the two cards that I pulled for this, let's see if I can find the other one. These are the same characters. So this is when they were young, and this is when they meet again later in life. They are both more mature. So perhaps this is someone who, when you knew them before, was in a more immature energy. In fact, this girl is attempting to ride this stag or elk or whatever it is in this photo, and she's basically bigger than the deer itself. But in this one, deer has grown quite nicely, and he's very calm and he's very sure-footed, and this woman has this nice big set of antlers to hold on to. These antlers are reaching very high into the sky, so perhaps this person who is acting as this companion for you is very much tapped into the spiritual realm as well. Under my umbrella. This person might not be as consciously tapped into their intuition or spirituality, but they recognize that they are in possession of something that would be useful to you in reaching those loftier heights that you've set your sights on. I think that both you and this person have spent a lot of time alone. I think that for possibly years, you have been on this journey completely by yourself, and anyone that crossed your path wasn't somebody with staying power. They weren't really able to go the distance with you, or your paths diverged, or maybe they were always meant to. Maybe it was just an intersection that you met this person at. I'm getting a very playful energy from this person. Like, I think this person, you are both seekers of some sort, and I think that you have a shared vision, or you have the potential to share a vision for something it is that you want to bring into the earthly realm. But beyond that, I think this person is here to play with you. Like, there is a very fun, playful, co-creative vibe to this. Yeah, I just pulled the adventure card. Like, you guys are going to do some fun stuff together, and in the process of it, you are going to expand your spiritual point of view. Your perspective will widen and grow because of these fun, lighthearted, joyful, inner child healing experiences with this person. And I think that this person could be a little mischievous too. This person might mirror back to you something about yourself that you don't really let out to play very often. There could be something naughty about this person. They're definitely going to mirror to you that even when things are tough, if you look at them with a sense of humor, it will alleviate the seriousness of it. Yeah. This person's going to help you express yourself. They're going to be very expressive too. I think that even without you in the picture, they are secure in who they are, and they not only enjoy expressing themselves, but they delight in seeing other people just kind of let their weirdness out. Like, be unafraid to be weird, be unafraid to be seen. I'm getting this message of really embracing where you are right now. An earlier version of you might have felt very unworthy of this person. You might not have come to terms with the parts of yourself that aren't fully put together. And perhaps when you connected prior, whether that be in this lifetime or another one, you were not able to have these beautiful experiences with this person. One or both of you might felt unworthy of them. But you've both been on this long, winding journey, and you have really come to embrace parts of yourself. And I think that together you will continue to foster a greater sense of self-love for yourself and through this other person. There's this energy of generosity again. This person, I think they're going to be proud of you. If this person was someone that you knew before and they're coming back around, I think that they're going to be really proud of how much that you've grown and see that you've had to do it all on your own. Like, there's this energy of them being really impressed with you, because all that you have right now, all that you're standing on, all that you're bringing to the table is something that you cultivated with little to no help. And since they're in a position to be generous to you, they want to. They want to be a person who can give to you because they recognize that so many other people have been very stingy, or they have taken things that were rightfully yours. Yes. This person is wise in that they understand that even though they're in this position to be generous to you, that every interaction and exchange we have with another person, we are gaining something in return also. Even if it's just the opportunity to teach someone, the teacher, if they are coming from a righteous place, will recognize that they too are the student, even when they are taking a teacher role. So I think this person is excited to learn and grow from you also. Yes, gratitude. They're very grateful for you, bestie. You've come into their life in a period where they might have really been asking spirit for something. Maybe they didn't even know they were asking spirit. Maybe they were just in a lot of pain, or they've reached a point in the journey where they are struggling to advance to the next level on their own. And maybe it's not like a true level. Maybe there's just a pattern or something that they're stuck in that they are struggling with. And I think this person or their spirit or their soul has been really yearning for someone that they can trust, someone that they can be vulnerable with about this perceived lack or lack of mastery that they're experiencing. It might be something they're really struggling with, and it might be something that is a little bit like embarrassing or vulnerable for them to admit. And what their soul wants most of all is for someone to lean on. And I think that you're embodying this very sturdy energy, and you are someone that they can lean on. Even though you might not be able to provide what they are bringing to the table in terms of this generosity, you have generosity of spirit. You have maybe mastered what this person is struggling with right now, and you can shed some light. You can illuminate this energy for them, kind of show them the places inside of them where it resides, because you know that path well. You've had to travel it many times. Yeah, I think this person, the focus card came out in reverse. So I think this person is having a hard time taking this bird's eye view of their own issue. I think maybe they're experiencing something they have never experienced before, and it might be incredibly overwhelming for them. So they their energy is a little bit scattered right now, and it's hard for them to kind of, you know, I'm seeing like an aperture of a camera. It's hard for them to kind of like turn the aperture and really focus on the thing that they need to be focusing on. I think that if they're healing from something, whatever emotions are coming up in this, they're having a hard time sifting through them and like finding the source of the pain. So you are going to be that person for them. It's kind of like adjusting this aperture to show them like, no, like that's not the real issue. Like that's an illusion, that's a distortion. This is what's really going on. And I think that you're absolutely going to impart something completely invaluable to them when you do this. All right, Spirit, let's talk about the Divine Masculine here. I pulled out a deck today that I haven't used in a very long time for the Divine Masculine, so I'm very eager to see what comes out. Oh boy. All right, so our masculines are, they're kind of struggling right now. I'm getting the numbers 3-3 if that's significant for anyone. They're kind of struggling to find a balance between sitting with the pain that they are experiencing and avoiding it through various means. They might be purposely stacking a lot of things onto their plate to distract them from the cries of this broken heart that they are experiencing. I think it's interesting on this card, this Three of Swords card. Normally there's like a bloody heart or something on this card, but if you see, this person is mainly worried about the pain that is in their head. So this person might be a little disconnected from their heart space, and they're intellectualizing these emotions, and so it's turning into these unhelpful and harmful thought patterns, these mental patterns. And the reason for that is they are not letting that energy drop down to the true source of where it is emanating from, which is this heart space. And if you see this this sword here on the bottom, it is in the ground, but it's also in their robe that they're wearing. So because of this inability to identify and therefore know where to heal this wound that they're kind of ruminating on, they're unable to move forward. They feel very stuck inside of it. There is an awareness of this though, and they are definitely trying to find this balance, this temperance energy. They're trying to embody it, but they're kind of missing the mark. They might be overindulging in something. They might be, I think there's this energy of dread. There's an ending of a cycle that's taking place for them, and there's this like duplicitous energy of dread and relief. Like, I think on some level they know that when this cycle finally ends, when they complete the cycle, when they do the hard thing that they need to do to complete it, there will be like a big sense of relief. But I think that they have like an internal knowing of what that's going to require from them, and they are avoiding it because of the intensity and the difficulty of it. They're very much right now in this Nine of Cups energy. They're very independent. They are good on their own. This guy in this depicted in this card is by himself. He's got all of these cups full of wine and he's enjoying himself. But what is really on his mind is this 10 of Cups followed by 4 of Wands, the Union. This is what is truly in his heart space. This is what he wants more than anything. He knows that his true happiness does not lie in all of the things that he is currently surrounding himself with, that it is dependent upon this idea of partnership and creating a family with another person. Union is heavily in the energy of this masculine collective. But they're still ending a cycle. They're wrapping something up before they can truly reach out and start that or take it. They are very much in this 10 of Swords energy where they're recovering from something that for some of them it might be a betrayal, because he has 3 swords in his back instead of the 10, and that is mirrored in the 3 of Swords, the heartbreak card. So there's something that has really broken this masculine's heart, and he's just feeling very hobbled by it. I had a very resonant in real life sync a couple weeks ago. I was driving to my chiropractor, actually, which is representative of alignment, and there was a white dog in the road. Anytime I see a white dog, I always think of the Fool tarot card, because the Fool is often depicted running alongside a white dog, and the Fool card is all about new beginnings. So I think, oh well, let me finish the story. Gemini problems. The dog that ran in front of my car was limping. He was limping on his left legs, both of them, front and back. And I got this message that you're embarking on a new beginning, but you are wounded from the previous cycle. So you are ready to go. You know that you're done with whatever that was that wounded you, but you are still carrying this significant hurt with you. And since it was the dog's left paws, that is symbolic of feminine energy to me. So the thing that you are wounded from is some wound around feminine energy. And the card underneath of that is the Queen of Wheels, which in this deck is the Queen of Pentacles. So this might be a mother wound. This might be the loss of a mother. This might be coming to terms with the fact that you didn't have the mother that you wanted and needed. This could be a partner, a karmic partner that you have been tied to for a long time, who you have had to break ties with and leave behind. Whatever this is, though, that you're healing from, you know that in order for you to receive your justice, in order for you to receive what it is that you truly want, which is this 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands, family union, true companionship with your true equal, you have to leave this behind. You have to mourn the loss of it. You have to put it to rest. In fact, your very stability is dependent on it too. Right underneath of that is the King of Wheels, or the King of Pentacles. Very stable, grounded, powerful, in charge man. Underneath of that is the Fool, the 5 of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. I think that this man is, because of this wound, is somewhat at war with his own feminine energy. The emotional feminine energy, to be exact. I think that the depth of emotion that this ending has elicited in this masculine has really shocked him. I don't know that prior to this he knew that he could feel this deeply. And it's very bewildering for him. It's pretty shocking. And I think that's contributing to this kind of in and out energy that he's experiencing right now, where he is trying to feel his feelings. He's wise enough to know, he's showing up in this Emperor energy. He's wise enough to know that feelings aren't going anywhere unless you express them. But there's so much there that his normal ways of expressing his emotions, maybe he's creative. Maybe he has a hobby. Maybe he's into music. Maybe there's some lighter way that he normally expresses these emotions that have always worked for him. But what is coming up here is so deeply painful that he is finding it too difficult to sit with, because the wound is in the area of your energy that you need to tap into in order to be able to sit with these very uncomfortable emotions. This Queen of Cups energy is what you would drop down into if you were feeling your feelings. This very Cancer-like energy, very in tune with your emotions, understanding that your emotional state affects everything around you, that the currents around you are moved, are controlled by your emotional state. And since their emotional state feels uncontrollable to them right now, everything else in their life just feels on shaky ground. Spirit, do you have any advice for the masculines who are experiencing this? So the cards I pulled were Stranger, Curiosity, and Deep Diver, diving into a task. I think that there is someone coming in for these masculines, and I'm sure it's the feminine that we're listening to. These masculines probably have a feminine or someone who is very skilled and comfortable in their feminine energy, coming in to kind of be their shaman, to guide them through this deep dive into their emotions that they're going to need to take to find the source of the bleeding. The wound will not stop if you are not applying pressure to it, and they don't know how to reach it. They do. They have the ability to go there. They can breathe underwater, but there is a core wounding in this energy of flow. Anyone who is very tapped into their feminine energy, very tapped into flow, knows that if you just exhale, let it out, you can expel the air from your lungs and dive down deeper. You will sink to the bottom if you just release it. And this masculine is very buoyant. And that is the same energy that is helping this feminine kind of reach these new heights, but it's the same energy that is preventing him from reaching the depths. I'm seeing this imagery of these two counterparts coming together. And on the surface, the part of them that is above the surface, let's say like this is the ground, the masculine is incredibly tall. He reaches all the way up here. And the feminine is probably more like here. But what you don't see is that underneath of this, the feminine reaches all the way down here and the masculine only comes to about here. So they are in fact equals, but the balance of their energy is distributed differently. The weight is distributed differently. So when they come together, the weight is perfectly evenly distributed. This feminine is the perfect person to teach this masculine to go down to the basement. And this masculine is the perfect person to teach this feminine to reach for the stars. So there might be some misperception about each other when these two come together, but it is just, it's because the energy for the feminine isn't as obvious, it's not as showy. It's something that will only be seen when they start having these kind of like heart-to-heart talks, these experiences, that the masculine will really see the deep well and seat of power that this feminine is operating from. What else, Spirit? I'm being called to use a different deck. I'm hearing that this masculine might be very abundant on the earth plane, but in terms of emotions, he's kind of in this Five of Pentacles, this scarcity energy. He might be struggling to access this feeling of being abundant in emotions. He might be feeling a little bit emotionally avoidant. Yeah. while he is going through this healing energy, the way that he might be approaching this feminine might be coming across a little bit more passionate than emotional. Pull the Ace of Wands and the Page of Cups. So he is making this emotional offer, but it's kind of shallow right now. He is a fully embodied emperor. He is a masculine who embodies perfectly all of the kings put together. So he is definitely capable of more than what he's leading with right here. But I think that he is just so overwhelmed by where his emotions are in this current place, healing this maternal wound, that this is the energy that he is most comfortable in. It might feel like breadcrumbing to some of you. It might be like really confusing, because if you are a feminine connecting with this masculine, the way that he's showing up might be very intermittent, and it might just feel a little bit immature. And you're kind of sitting there like, what are you doing? Because like, I know I can see like what you really got going on in there, and the energy that you're showing up in is not really authentic to who you are. But I think what this masculine is trying to do right now is to keep things very lighthearted, because he does not trust himself to drop down into those emotional depths and to offer you anything from that place, because the waters are so turbulent. I think that he feels very strongly about you. He's in touch with himself enough to know that he knows that, but he doesn't feel in control enough of those emotions. He's not in this King of Cups energy, this very King of Cups is someone who feels very deeply, but he has very strong emotional boundaries because of it. And I think this man is worried that he, the fence that he has drawn around his, I want to say emotions, but I'm hearing the word unicorn. It's like that like famous tapestry of like that little unicorn in this tiny round paddock. That's like kind of like where the emotions for this feminine are lying. Like he knows that she's this unicorn, and he wants to be a unicorn for her. Like he knows that she is his equal, but he has like kind of caged this energy in because he just doesn't feel safe releasing it. He recognizes though that this woman is his ticket to healing. He recognizes in some way that she is his healing. And I think on a soul level, maybe not on a conscious level, he understands this concept of poison as medicine. This woman is very tapped into her light and dark feminine aspects, and she knows that what's happening right now, this great release, this incredible pain and suffering that he's experiencing, is the poison that is the medicine that he desperately needs. It is the remedy. It doesn't feel like it when you're drinking it down and you're gagging on it and feels like your insides are coming apart. It doesn't feel like a remedy in the moment, but eventually it is the only thing that can make it stop. I'm seeing that scene in Harry Potter where Dumbledore takes Harry to that cave to retrieve the Horcrux, and he tells him, like, I gotta drink this liquid. No matter what I say, don't let me stop drinking it. Like, we got to do it. I got to drink all of it. Like, I might beg you, I might scream and plead with you. Like, you've got to force me to drink this liquid. And that's the only thing that's going to work. And I think on some level, this masculine, like, understands that. He just needs another person to force the liquid down him, because he lacks the fortitude to do something that is so painful. You know, at some point your ego flares up and prevents you from inflicting this much pain upon yourself. And I think that's what's happening here. He's already in so much pain. He can't fathom, like, inflicting even more. He already can't handle what he's experiencing. So, like, he needs an assist. And he recognizes that this woman is what he called in to do so. He wants to give to her equally. He really does. Like, his intention, his energy is this new beginning, like this quick moving energy towards like reciprocity. And he's been working really hard to accumulate something that would be a worthy offering to this woman when she did finally come along. But right now, the energy that he's showing up in is just a little disjointed because of this pain. Yeah. The energy that he wants to offer her is House of Flowers in the Gardener. He wants to be a true divine masculine for her. He wants to give her this fertile plot of soil where she can grow into her most beautiful version, and he wants to be the gardener that tends to her. He just feels unable to nurture her in the way that he wants to right now because he is struggling immensely to nurture himself. I really feel for this masculine because this energy that I'm picking up on is very, very heavy. I'm picking up on a lot of, he's just being really hard on himself. Like there's a lot of undeservingness here. He sees her as this energy of, actually I'm just going to show you the card. So he's been keeping this part of him locked away, like the deepest parts of himself, the part of him that wants to be devoted to one person and one person only. He's been keeping that under lock and key for a long time. And I think that there were lots of other keys that came across his desk, so to speak, but he's been holding on to this idea that there is really only one person who's going to be able to unlock this special part of himself. And I think that he really sees this feminine as the person who can really come in and do that. And he's just feeling I don't think he knows what he's feeling. I think that he's unable to put a face and name to what he's feeling. I think that he might be feeling like a failure because he has waited so long for this moment and it has finally come, and he just feels like he's not ready for it. And what was all this preparation for if when it finally arrives on my doorstep, I'm not ready for it? What he's failing to realize is that actually, I'm going to start with an example from my personal life. There was a moment where I was finding myself in this energy too a couple years ago. And my guide said something to me that has stuck with me all these years. And I think of very often when I start feeling unworthy of something. And they said, so just because you're not perfect, you can't go outside. And I think that's the energy that this masculine is kind of failing to recognize here. No one was asking you to be perfect to be deserving of this. The universe wouldn't have brought this person to you if you didn't have everything that you needed to be a reciprocal, even partner to them. This feminine is showing up as Miss Sunshine. This man is very much in the moon energy right now, but this feminine is very much in her sun energy, and she is here to illuminate the parts of him. She's actually indistinguishable from the sun. If you see where her hair meets the sun, she almost looks like part of it. She almost looks like part of the beam. And I think that's part of why he feels so intimidated. He's like, oh my God, she's glowing so brightly. Like I can't match that, but he was never supposed to. You're equals, but you're opposites. The divine feminine and the divine masculine are the sun and the moon. They're night and day. They're not supposed to both be the sun. When one is in their moon energy, the other is the sun, and when, it can switch. So this masculine is struggling to comprehend the concept of these polarities complementing one another. This woman is in this very illuminating powerful, goddess-like energy who has an abundance of emotion that is just pouring out of her. And the things that this masculine might be in possession of that are in abundance, that are pouring out of him, might be things that she has struggled to master. If you see this house underneath of her, this Taj Mahal, is in reverse. Even though she's this sun, there might be this element of a lack of earthly stability in this feminine's life. And that is the thing that this masculine has really mastered on the earth plane. So he might be preoccupied with the idea that he can't match that energy, and overlooking the fact that he is much stronger than her in this moment in a different complementary energy, bringing something to her life that she desperately needs. Advice for this masculine collective is to use this as an opportunity to master self-sabotaging habits. When they have found themselves in places, I won't even say similar, because I don't think that this level of union has ever been something that this collective has experienced before, like this potential for union. But when they found themselves in places before where they felt ill-equipped for where they were standing, they might have wrecked it all into the sea just to simulate the idea that they had some kind of control over an outcome in a situation where they felt out of control. So the advice for this masculine is to not do that here. That these emotional storms, even though they are quite turbulent, will pass. And if you will allow it, this person is in a position to help you steady the waters. They are a master at that, and you don't have to feel unworthy of them just because you might not be a master of that. They're here to help you to become a master of that. I think this masculine might be worried that because of this very vulnerable state that he finds himself in, he might become codependent on her. But just the fact that he is even aware of that is an indicator that it doesn't have to repeat here. If you're aware of a tendency that you have, that's all that you need to not repeat the cycle. Just the awareness that it's a cycle that you were in, that it's something that you could be prone to, is all that you need not to repeat it. And I think that this feminine, because she's truly mastered this energy, can recognize, can kind of be the spotter for this masculine when he is attempting to lean too heavily on someone instead of, confirmation burp, using this as an opportunity to establish his own internal core of stability in these emotional waters. I think he's worried that if he leans too hard on her, that he's going to overburden her and scare her away. But I think that this feminine has enough masculine energy that she's not going to allow that to happen. So I think it's a fear that, again, like everything that's cropping up right now, is just a fear. It's something to sit with. It's something to be aware of. It's not a reason to run. It's not a reason to wreck it all into the sea just because you might feel out of control at what's happening right now. People really struggle with the concept of divine timing, because divine timing is more about alignment. It's when a force greater than yourself determines that you are aligned to something that you have been asking for. And not only you, but usually the things that we're asking for require an energy outside of us to align to us. So the fact that this is presenting to you tells you that this is part of it. If it's here and you don't feel ready for it, that's not the end of the conversation with yourself, or at least it shouldn't be. And for a lot of people it is. They're like, oh, well, this is coming, I don't feel ready for it, so, it must not be time. It is time. What you asked for, the intentions you've been setting with the universe, it's answered them. And this is the answer. So if you're not understanding the way the universe has answered your request, that's an invitation to go deeper. It's an invitation to take a higher perspective, not just rely on what it is you have immediately available to you. It might even be a perspective that comes later. For now, just sit with the discomfort and allow the answers to unfold. If you can't find or locate where the answers are in this now moment, it's not a reason to run. It's a call from the universe to just sit tight and trust. Why put your faith in a higher power and then judge and doubt and criticize the way the higher power has answered your prayer? Sometimes when you pray for a cake, the universe will deliver all the ingredients in the oven that you need to bake that cake. And you might have to put in a little elbow grease. Just because you have to bake the cake doesn't mean that it's not worth doing. You might be frustrated because maybe what you were asking for was a cake and what you got was ingredients. But what good is cake on demand when what you're truly asking for on a soul level is soul mastery over cake? If you want cake anytime you desire, you have to learn to bake it yourself. There won't always just be cake lying on the path. Seldom will spirit answer you with the finished product. Usually spirit answers you with an opportunity to master the finished product so that you can have it whenever you want. And that's what we're looking at here. Spirit, do you have any closing remarks for these energies? I'm getting the image of, yeah. The card that I pulled was Winter's Dream, Gestation Period. I'm getting the image of being at the laundromat and waiting for your load of clothes to finish washing so you can put it into the dryer. These aren't energies that are going to stick around forever. This is a transitory period. In fact, this entire week coming up might be a transitory period. This is a time to release. It is a time to stay grounded. It is a time to really lean into self-care, self-nourishment. Anytime you find yourself in a situation that you cannot see your way out of, it's usually a call from the universe that you need to just get centered and await further instructions. You've been dropped into this alien planet, and the external guidance system that is meant to pilot you around it is still getting the lay of the land, and you just need to focus on keeping your vitals at a stasis and allow the tides to work for you instead of against you. If the tides are working against you, if you are swimming against the grain and you're getting nowhere and you're getting really freaking frustrated, just tread water for a little bit. And I think that's the guidance here. That's the message here. The reason for this is because this isn't just an energy that individuals are experiencing. This is an entire collective. This is for a collective energy that is spearheading the entire collective of Earth. So these people that I'm pulling for in this spread are under an immense amount of pressure because they have to be the pointiest part. They have distinguished themselves in some way, whether it was when they incarnated here, they agreed to go first, or they're just the fastest moving souls. They're the ones with the most Mars energy. They want to be on the front lines. They've chosen that on some level to be there. So they're really in what I like to call the crusher, while these collective energies kind of line up behind them, because, you know, while they're sharpening, the rest of it, the rest of the spear is taking form too. The wood is forming. The feathers are forming. The hilt of the sword is forming. There are lots of other things that are going into this energy that won't even be in the zone of awareness of the people experiencing them. So that's why sometimes there are these like stagnant periods, or periods we perceive as being stagnant, because it's not always about you. And that is hard for our ego to accept sometimes, because we are the sun of our own universe. But what this is preparing is a very targeted advance. There's this energy of the eye of the needle. This is where that spear is getting ready to go through. It is a very narrow opening that only something very sharp can pierce through. This is like an arrow hitting the bullseye. If you were to release the arrow now, God knows where it would end up. You know, probably over here. And then what? You'd have to start all over. Restring the bow, possibly. So getting ahead of yourself and trying to go too fast during a period like this is only going to set you back in the long run. Confirmation burp. Because what is through that eye of the needle is an opportunity. It's like, you know, in Mario Kart when there are like those like speed power-ups along the track. That's what this is. If you can hit it just right, you can go really fast. There might be like a secret path that opens up. This might be like at the head of a secret like shortcut path that opens up. So it requires precision. And if you are releasing the arrow with a shaky arm, you're not going to be able to release with precision. So take advantage of this moment, rest up, replenish in the areas where you feel depleted, replenish those, lean on those that you trust, and don't make any hasty decisions or actions. This isn't the time for action. This is the time for preparation. When you know that it is time to act, you will know. There will be so much energy inside of you that it might turn to anxiety, because you can just feel this swell of energy, this momentum inside of you waiting to be released, and that will be the moment where you release the bow. This isn't the moment where you release anything except for those tears that you've been holding back. Spirit, any closing remarks? Anything else you'd like to add? Avoid conflict. And also avoid clinging to anything too tightly, lest you create your own tower moment. The Sun and the Ace of Cups. Brighter days ahead. I love you.